What's up guys, this is Spooky, back with another Tekken 8 guide. This is an in-depth guide for Fakhkumram. In this first section, I'm including some combos that better players are currently using with him. Most of these combos involve extending with the down forward 3-4 knee move, which is tricky to input, so you should practice and get used to it if you want to play this character. If you're having trouble using that down forward 3-4 knee move, you can also use down back 4 to extend some of the combos, but it's not universal like the just frame knee is, so you should really practice those knees if you want to get the most damage possible from your big launcher combos. I'll also be including lots of information on good moves to use and strong mix-ups, including his Garuda Force and Rama Stance. You can use the timestamps to revisit sections of the videos that you need, so make sure to come back to this video as you continue to learn about Fakhkumram so you can utilize his entire toolkit to the fullest. His low parry combos are still being developed, so for now I included this basic one for you until a better one is found. This next section includes some of the good tornado combos that you can utilize. He has a lot of interesting ways to set up tornado, especially when you use some of the Garuda Force extensions, but you don't actually have the Garuda Force available. That doesn't make those moves useless at all. In fact, they're still very strong without Garuda Force, but you'll have to learn both tornado versions of the combos and regular versions of the combos for those varying situations, so watch out for that. Whenever it's possible, it's a good idea to end your combos with down forward 1-2 or a similar move that will give you the Garuda Force extension. That way you'll have your Garuda available for post knockdown mix-ups. Garuda Force is very useful to have, so whenever you can set it up, it's always a great idea. Alright, so coming up in this next section, we have some good heat dash combos. Now when you're in heat, you get as many instances of Garuda Force as you want until your heat runs out. So because of that, and because you're doing it from a heat dash, you're always going to have Garuda available. So instead we're using these different enders so that you can try to mix them up and take advantage of your Garuda Force being available. In this next section, I'm including a couple of wall carry example combos. You can use the second wall carry example that I'm showing here as well as a good general heat burst combo when you're on a bigger stage like Yakushima. But it's an excellent way to get lots of wall carry, and again, as a reminder, whenever you're in heat, you get the Garuda Force all you want. So by setting up these heat burst combos and these wall carry combos, you're giving yourself a way to get guaranteed Garuda mix-ups near the wall. Alright, in these final two combo sections, I'm showing you some wall combo examples, as well as some examples of some of the quick, small combos that he has. He actually has a lot of moves that give you a knockdown for a small combo, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on this section and utilize some of these tools, because you're going to be finding that as you play the character more, that you're going to get a lot of these smaller knockdowns with these quick buttons and these quicker moves. Now, if you combo to the 4-4 1+2, just like when you combo to down forward 1-2, you're going to be giving yourself the Garuda Force. So again, these are great ways to really optimize the character and make sure that you're getting the most out of all his small pokes. Alright guys, so now I want to talk about some of the moves of Fakhkumram that are useful. First off is your basic jabs, of course. Never ever forget about basic jab. It's plus with this character, as most characters, +1 on jab. So it's a good way to kind of establish pressure and get in with a quick poke, as well as interrupt some of the things that they're doing. So don't forget about this move, the basic jab. Now some jab strings that he has a string 1-2-1. And 1-2-1-4. And one thing that's nice about this string is that the third hit is mid. It's kind of like the Brian move, and you can kind of hit confirm this last hit too. So if you press 1-2-1, you see a hit. If you're fast enough, you can press 1-2-1-4, and you can actually get a combo. It's a little bit tricky to do. It's also even better on counter hit. So if you counter hit the opponent on the third hit, then it's like super easy to confirm this. You just literally wait and then let it hit. You even get a wall splat, get a combo. So pretty nice to have 1-2-1 and 1-2-1-4. Remember this string. Alright, so now we got another string. I wouldn't use this one all the time, but it's a good string against people that are kind of expecting your 1-2-1 a lot. And it's 1, 2, 4, 4. And one thing that's nice about this string is that if the last hit counter hits, it gives you the special animation and you get a knockdown. You can mix them up afterwards, which is pretty nice. You can mix them with whatever you want. You go for a big low if you want with your down forward 3, or fake it with the down forward 3-3. You can do a lot of different things off this knockdown. You can just do a basic down forward 3 if you want to get in there, try to catch them, that type of thing. So remember this move 1, 2, 4, 4. Don't use it all the time. It's got a couple weaknesses. The first weakness is that if this doesn't counter hit, then what's going to happen is it's -4, as you can see. So it's kind of a spot where the opponent can press a jab and take their turn back. A lot of your mids are on the slower side, like your basic down forward 1 is a 15-frame move, and the back one is like 14 frames, it's bad on block. He doesn't have a lot of quicker mids. That's one thing that you got to watch out for. Even this forward 2 thing is like 15 frames, it's pretty slow. So keep that in mind when you do this 1, 2, 4, 4. And they block and they get hit, but they don't get counter hit. It's hard to take your turn back. You can also do just this move. You can just press 4, 4, and this is actually not bad to throw out sometimes. Sometimes people are not expecting it. You can mix them up with it, and then the same deal. If they press a button into it, then what's gonna happen is they're gonna get counter hit, and when they get counter hit, you're gonna get this same little special animation. So remember this move 1, 2, 4, 4, and also just the basic 4, 4. Alright, so next up we got another important move, is standing 3, and this is the teep kick. And this move has a lot of options behind it. First off, there's some strings, 3, 1, 4. This move's pretty good, although it's bad on block. The first 2 hits are safe, so if they don't duck, they can't really do a lot about this. This is a good way to just poke at the opponent. But then you also have 3, 1, 4, this mid thing, and you have 3, 1, down 4. And this is a nice little low. It's the same type of low setup that you normally get. This one's actually really good because a lot of people are gonna want to stand block here because they're gonna want to block your mid. Because when they block this mid, of course they can punish you. So that makes it a good mix to throw out now again. This is actually better than the 1, 2, 4, 4 thing that I showed you and the regular 4, 4. So remember this basic 3, 1, 3, 1, down 4, and then also sometimes mix them up with the 3, 1, 4. Try to get a knockdown, something like that. So very useful move. Now the 3 also has some extensions you can do. If you hit with just the first hit and it counter hits, you can go into this 3, 4 move, and this looks like this 3, 4. And the same deal, you can get a mix up after. So 3, you see a counter hit, press 4, you knock them down. You can do a lot of different things off this. You can bam, try to catch them out there. You can do it, and then maybe back 1, and if it hits, go for a follow up. A lot of different things you can do from this. So keep it in mind, 3, 4. Alright, so another extension from this 3 move is 3, 4, 3. And it's kind of weird to input this. You got to press the 4 to the 3 really fast, like a move that you drum. And you can also charge this move. Now, if you charge it and you don't have your Garuda Force power follow-up, but it hits, then you're going to get this nice tornado knockdown. And there's some combos you can do from it. It usually involves the weird little, I hate this move, but it usually involves that move. But there's other ways you can combo too if that's too complicated for you. One thing you can also try is you can try just down back 4. And you can use that to start the combo as well. And a combo would look something like this. Down 3, 4, 3, 4, up forward 4. That's an example of a combo, something like what it would look like. Now here's another good move. This move is actually really sick. Forward 1+2. And this move is a long-range heat engager that's also safe on block, which is really nice. So even if the opponent blocks, they could try to retaliate with a poke, but they can't punish you for it. It's only around -4. So it's a good little long-range way to get in. It's a little bit on the slower side, so you got to be careful. This is vulnerable to sometimes their quick pokes, or sometimes things like if they go for a power crush and you do this move, they're probably going to get you. But it's still a good way to get it on the opponent, and it's a good way to get a heat engager. And one thing that's extra nice about this is that if it hits them, then you can also get a heat engager combo. And that would look something like this when you go for the dash cancel. Then you can end it kind of however you want. Usually I like to try to end the combos in a way that gives me the Garuda Force back, but when you're in heat, you get to keep the Garuda Force all you want, so you don't necessarily have to do that all the time. Alright, so we got another good move, and this one is down forward 1, 4. And one thing that's nice about this move is that it's a mid-high. It's a little bit slow because the down forward 1 starts at 15 frames, but it's a mid-high, and although they can duck the high to try to punish you, you got mix-ups. You can do down forward 1, 4, 3. If they try to duck, you're going to hit them with the mid, and this is also safe. So both options are safe, which is nice. You can just do this, and you can try to get them, or you can do this, and you can try to get them. You can also charge it as well. try to get a mix up that way. Now, this is also a heat engager, and it has some similar combos to what I showed you at the beginning. But when you hit the down forward 1-4, you can go for your weird little down forward 3-4 move, and that looks something like this. You can kind of end the combo however you want after you get the tornado, whatever you want to do. So really useful move and good to try. Down forward 1-4 and also the down forward 1-4-3. You can also do down forward 1-4-4 too, which is pretty nice. And you have a few ways to do this 4-4 thing. You can do it from 3. I think I might have mentioned that. But one thing that's nice about this is that it's a high, but it's really plus when it hits the opponent. And if they happen to block, then it's plus frames too. So it's a good way to kind of start some pressure and, you know, keep the pressure on the opponent. Go for a low afterwards if you want with your down forward 3. You go for your down 4. Try to get them that way. You could trick them out and go for a 4-4 or something like that in case they try to press a quick button. You could power crush afterwards if you want. After this, you can go for your forward 2 power crush if you want, and that's also safe. A lot of different things you can do this. So any of these moves that have this type of move, so whether it's the 3-4, you can always do the 3-4-4. And the same thing for the down 4-1. You can do down 4-1-4-4. And the same deal. You also get the plus frames that way. So pretty nice to have and really useful. Try it out. Alright, so another good move is back forward 4, and this is a nice little long range kick. It's actually relatively fast at 18 frames, not the fastest in the world, but pretty fast, especially for the great long range that it has. And it's plus frames too, so when you hit with this, you can mix up afterwards. You can go for some of the things I talked about, 1-2-1, and try to get them that way. Mix it up and do a down 4 if you want. You know what I mean? You can mix them up, and if you think they're gonna move, go for like a back 1, even though that's not really safe, but you know what I mean? You go for your 4-1+2 afterwards if you want and try to open them up that way. There's a lot of different things that you can do after this move when they block it. Now, if it happens to hit, you get the same type of combo as we've been talking about the whole time, which is you can do your down forward 3-4 thing and then extend however you want. I like to end oftentimes with this down forward 1-2 because it gives you the Garuda Force power up. Anyway, really good move. Make sure to utilize it. Alright, so next up we got a Tekken 7 special 3+4. And this is a really good move. On normal hit, it's really strong, and it's also safe on block. It's got a lot of range too, just like the 4-1+2 does, and it's a little bit faster than 4-1+2. So it's a good thing to just toss out there every now and again. You know, if they do block it, it's safe. It's -9, so you can just try to back off or just block what they've got coming at you and wait for your next turn. I wouldn't try to get too aggressive afterwards because -9, you know, it's pretty vulnerable to their jab or their down 4-1. But 3+4, really good move. And also, you get a similar combo. It's what we've been talking about. So you can still do your 3+4 and then your down 4-3-4 and then same combo pretty much. So 3+4. Remember this move. Really useful, safe move. And you can also get your combo, and then you can try to get your Garuda Force afterwards. So a really strong move, 3+4. Alright, next up we got another good one, and it's forward 4. And this move is really good, especially when you have the opponent's back to the wall. It's really strong, but it's strong also in general. If they block this move, it's a little bit of plus frames. So you can try to pressure afterwards, a similar pressure, whatever you want. Do your 1-2-1 and try to open them up that way. You could do a quick low if you want. You know what I mean? You could try to grab them after this if you want to mix them up that way. In case they press a jab, you can grab them out of it. Or if they press a power crush or try to heat burst, something like that. Forward 4. Now, if this forward 4 counter hits the opponent, you can actually get a follow-up. And the best follow-up is this back 1 move, your 14-frame move. It's also your 14-frame Punisher. So when you follow with the back 1, if you do it right, you can also get 1+2 guaranteed, and that gives you the Garuda Force. So really nice to have. Remember this move, forward 4. This is a great pressure tool, but especially good when you have the opponent's back to the wall. Alright, so now I got an interesting string for you, which is this forward 3-2 string. Now, it doesn't really do anything too special unless the first part, you know, unless the opponent is pressing a lot of buttons. But one thing that's nice is you have extensions. You have this forward 3-2-1, safe on block. You have this forward 3-2-4. It's not safe, but because it's the knee, you can mix up and you can do your 4-3-2-4-4. You can also do your 4-3-2, and then you can try to do your Garuda Force mix-up afterwards with the spin move. So forward 3-2-4-4. This one's especially good because if you got people poking a lot and they're pressing a lot of buttons, this is going to be pretty good for opening them up. So forward 3-2-4, forward 3-2-4-4, forward 3-2-4-3, forward 3-2-4, charge to 3. They're all pretty useful little things that you can do off the forward 3-2. This is also a good wall combo ender. So when you got a wall combo, you can end with this if you want to as well. Alright, I got another good move for you guys, and this one is actually kind of sick. It's back 3, and this is a 16 frame high tracking move, excuse me, and it's also safe on block. So if the opponent blocks this move, you're good to go. It's only -7. It's also good for being a heat engager, which is actually nice. Having a tracking move that heat engages is actually a big deal. And you also can get heat mode combos from it. I'll try to show you an example of what a combo would look like. But pretty much if you open them up with this move, same combo as usual. Let's try one more time to show you that. Something like that. You could also do longer extensions. I showed you an example of a combo in the combo section that you can use. But this is a really good move for back 3. Use this move a lot, for real. Seriously, this move is mega strong. It's really good, especially for opponents trying to step all your other linear tricks that you can do, like your 1-2-1s and your teep kick moves and things like that. When they're trying to step all this stuff, that's when the back 3 gets really good. Alright, so I got another interesting move, and it's this sidestep 4. Now, this one's not safe, so you don't want to do this all the time. But let's say you're jabbing and you're mixing them up 1-2-1 and you're stepping around the opponent. When you see them whiff a move, that's a good time to toss out this sidestep 4. And one thing that's good about it too is that on normal hit, it knocks down and you get 4-4-1+2 guaranteed afterwards. When you hit the 4-4-1+2, it's going to give you the Garuda Force power up, which is really nice to have. So a good way to set up Garuda Force and a good move to keep in mind, sidestep 4. Alright, so I got some good lows for you guys as well to try out. The first one is down forward 3. And this one's a good basic low. It's minus on normal hit, but it's got a good little counter hit setup. And when you counter hit the opponent with this one, because you got them, pressing buttons or doing whatever else, then you get this nice little knockdown. And from the knockdown, you can mix them up. You can just keep doing it if you want. See if they're gonna keep pressing buttons. You could do like a 3-4-4 and mix them up afterwards if you want. Something like that. Try to kind of hit them that way or confirm it. You can do a lot of little things after this knockdown. So keep this frame in mind. Down forward 3 is a very good, quick little low that you can do. Now, another quick low that's similar in fashion is this basic down 4. And this is kind of the same as the 4-4 move that I showed before, as well as the 1-2-4-4. You can just toss this low out whenever you want. When it counter hits, the same deal. You got to mix after. You could go for a down 4-3, or you could try to mix them up by doing like a 4-4 afterwards. You know what I mean? You could try to just kind of, if you use this right, you can kind of keep them in a little bit of a mini vortex with this move. So it's pretty strong, the basic down 4. On normal hit, it's kind of the same as the other lows from the strings, in that it's minus. So keep that in mind. If you hit this and they don't get counter hit by it because they're not mashing, not pressing buttons or whatever, then it's a little bit risky to try to keep pressing buttons after this thing. So it's a good idea sometimes to just do this and then back off, and then maybe try to get in this way from a long range, something like that, or do it and then back off and then get back in and toss a back 3 out there, something like that. But keep in mind, don't try to do this and then just do like jabs, and especially don't do this and just like mash it down for one, because it's highly likely that whatever their press is going to interrupt you. Alright, I got one more low for you, and this one is from full crouch. He's got this full crouch down forward 2 low. And one thing that's nice about this low is that it's +4, which is huge. It's a big deal to have a plus frame low, even if it's only from full crouch. And you can also mix up this move with your wild standing 1-2. And one thing that's nice about the wild standing 1-2 is that it's a heat engager. So full crouch down forward 2, very good plus frame low. I don't think it does anything special on counter hit, but still, it's a great low to have. Oh, wait, I lied. It actually does do something nice on counter hit. Wow. That's pretty good. I'm not sure if the 4-4-1+2 is guaranteed here, but it's still a good low to have. Down full crouch, down forward 2. Mix it up with your wild standing 4. Mix it up with your wild standing 1-2. Mix it up with your various wild standing moves. Full crouch, down forward 2. Alright, so one more low that I didn't talk about is this forward 3. And one thing that's good about it is that it's a good mix-up with your running 3. So you can running 3 to get in, or you can forward 3 to get in. You can use your 4-1+2 to get in, and you can use your teep kicks like your 3-1-4, your 3-1 down 4. These are all kind of good ways to approach from this long range. So if you're not really sure how to get in, especially if you don't have the Garuda Force, then try out this 4-4-3, try out the running 3, use the full crouch down forward 2 sometimes, use the basic down 3, down forward 3, down 4. These are all good lows to use. So if you're looking for lows, try them all out. Alright, so now I want to talk to you about some of the power crushes that you have. The first one is this up forward 2 power crush. And this thing's pretty nice. It's safe on block also. So it's relatively fast at 18 frames. And if the opponent does block it, then there's nothing guaranteed that they really get on you. All they can do is try to mix you up, or you can try to sidestep or back off, something like that. So remember this one. You also have this forward 3+4 power crush. This one's a mid, unlike the up forward 2, but it's a little bit slower, and it's also minus 14 on block. So if they block this one, they're ready. They can get a good punish. A Kazuya player, if they're extra on point, they could even electrocute for this and get a whole launch combo. So beware about using this too much, but every now and again, you do need a power crush to bully through their moves. And so, you know, this is a good power crush to utilize. Now, one thing that makes the up forward 1 power crush extra good is at the wall, you can actually get combos for it. So that's one thing that's pretty nice. It's a good way to bully the opponent when you have them at the wall, and if they do block, it's safe anyway, right? So you can do something like this, and then you're up forward 4, back 4, 3, 2. This is a combo I like to do because it's pretty easy. You could also just do up forward 2, down forward 4, 3, forward 3, 2, 4. That's another one that you can do, and that looks something like this. And one thing that's nice about that is you get the flip over stun too, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I talked about some of the better regular moves of Fakhkumram, but I haven't been talking to you about this Garuda Force power-up and what it does. So first off, a couple good ways to get the Garuda Force include hitting this down forward 1-2 move. This will give you the power-up, and also hitting forward 1+2, which you can do at the end of various things, like when you hit your back 1, you can do this, or if you hit your forward 4 counter hit that I talked about, then you can do this. You know, various combos and various ways to get it. But once you have the Garuda Force power-up, there's a few different moves you can do. The first one I want to talk about is this forward 2-1-2. And this is a great little triple mid string. It's very strong. It does a grip of damage if it happens to hit. And even if they block, it's small plus rings afterwards. It's actually a triple mid that's +2. This is a really good move, seriously. And some people, you know, when they see the forward 2-1, for some reason, you know, they try to punish it, because if you do just forward 2-1, it's minus 14. So they like to try to jab in between. When they do that, bam, you get them with the last hit for trying to press a button. Really strong. So forward 2-1-2. Okay, so the next Garuda Force move that I want to talk about is this Hell Sweep style move that he has. And the way you input it is, instead of doing forward 4 like this, you do forward 4 3 2. And if you do it right, you're going to get this nice thing. Now, you can do this move without the Garuda Force. But if you do it without the Garuda Force, if the load doesn't counter hit, you don't really get anything guaranteed for it. So it's not really that great. But then it is really nice when you do it in the Garuda Force mode, because it does a chunk of damage. Anyway, keep this low in mind whenever you have the Garuda Force, because it's a very good long-range low. Forward 4 3 2. It's a very good Hell Sweep style move. It's really bad on blocks, so just watch out. If the opponent ever blocks this thing, they can do pretty much whatever launcher they feel like doing. And I'll show you an example of how bad this is on block. You won't even get the whole move. You'll just get staggered, and you're at like minus 23 or something. Pretty much any character in the game can launch this. So don't be too obvious with this, but still, it's a very good way to get in. Forward 4 3 2. Now, another one that you can do with the Garuda Force is down forward 3+4 3. And one thing that's nice about this move is that it's a safe triple mid, so it doesn't really matter if they block it or not. It's safe. But if they do happen to get hit by it, not only are you going to get a chunk of damage, but it's also going to put you into the Rama Stance mix-up. And I'll talk to you about this mix-up after I'm done talking about Garuda Force. But this is a good way to get into it. This is a good move to spam during heat. Like when you're in heat mode, and you know you can do as many Rama or as many Garuda Force moves you want. You can spam this thing. You can spam this move. And then when your heat runs out, you're still going to have at least one more seal left. So one more Garuda Force. You can even do another forward 2-1-2 if you want something like that. So keep that in mind. It's very strong. Now, I mentioned the Hell Sweep move. You also have kind of a mix-up from it. So instead of going for the forward 4 3 2, 4 3 2, you can go for forward 4-1. And what will happen is you'll get this nice little elbow move. It's actually a pretty chunky move. And it's also plus when it hits. So, you know, pretty nice to have. It's also safe on block, I believe. Let's check that out to confirm it. But I believe this one is also safe on block. So it's pretty good for mixing up the opponent when you're not really sure what they're going to do, or if you're not sure if they're going to look out for the Hell Sweep. You can just toss this out there. And then the next time, maybe this time, you'll toss out the Hell Sweep and you get them that way. So keep this move in mind. You can also do this move without the Garuda Force, the 4 3 1. Just like you can do the 4 the Hell Sweep without Garuda Force. But the Hell Sweep, I would probably only use this with the Garuda Force most of the time. versus the 4-4-4-1, this thing, you can just toss this out. It's also good to do after certain knockdowns and mix-ups. So let's say you hit them with this counter hit. It's not a bad thing to do afterwards and try to mix them up. Pretty solid. All right, so now I'm going to talk to you about the Rama Stance. And first off, how to get into it. So the way to get into it is you have to do one of your charge moves. So you can do your charge. As an example, you could do your charge knee, the full charge. If you do that, it's going to put you into the stance. Then you can do the follow-ups. You can also do it from things like the 1-2 or the 3-4-3. As an example, you can do it this way. Just do 3-4-3 and just hold down the charge. Basically, any move where you have access to this charge mid-kick, or any move where you have access to the charge knee, which is mostly from the 4. It's a main situation you're going to get this. Anytime you have these, if you have Garuda Force, or if you're in heat, which gives you as many Garuda Forces as you want until the heat runs out, then you can get yourself into the stance whenever the opponent blocks. Now, the first thing I should note is that most of these moves that we're talking about, if the opponent sidesteps to the right, they're going to be able to get past the move. So sometimes you want to fake and let it go early, especially the ones that are safe. You're going to want to let this go early sometimes, and you're going to want to let this go early sometimes, just so that, you know, they don't sidestep you and kill you. But let's say you do get it, and you do get them into the Rama Stance. Then the options are, first off, you have the 1 option, and the 1 option is a plus frame mid. It's only +1. So it's dangerous for you to press your own mids afterwards, because most of your mids are on the slower side compared to the opponent. But it's not a bad place after this at first to test the opponent by doing your 1-2-1 string. So that's a way that I like to test them first to see what they're going to do. So I'll do like 1-2, 1-2-1, 4 maybe. Or I'll do like 1-2-4-4 and try to open them up that way if they're not ready. Or I might just try to do like my 4-4 in case they do a slower mid instead of doing a jab. Something like that. So that's one way to utilize this one. After the 1 is do something like this and try to open them up. Once you have them tested that way, then you can use your other options. Now, some other options from this Rama Stance include, he's got this low thing, which is you just press 4. And when you press 4, it's this big sweeping low. It's pretty good. It also activates Wall Blast. So if you're on a wall, it won't really give you like a good Wall Splat combo. But if you're on a Wall Blast stage, it's very good for getting Wall Blast. Let's see if I can show you an example of that. Alright guys, so I do have the opponent here on one of these Wall Blast stages. I'm going to try to show you an example of a Rama Stance mix-up that you can do where you can get the big low and get an entire combo thanks to the Wall Blast. It might take me a couple tries to get this, but the good news stuff for you guys, you're going to see it all immediately. There you go. There's an example of a combo. Now, some of the other Rama Stance moves. You've got this stand 2, and it's an unblockable. It's really good to do because what some people like to do is some people, when they're in the Rama Stance, if they think you're going to do the 1, they like to try to toss a punch parry or a parry style move out there. So when you predict something like that, or if you have an opponent that's using that type of thing, then when you get them in the Rama Stance, then use this 2, and you're going to open them up, because if they do their parry, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So a strong 1 to have. The Rama Stance 2 is a very good unblockable. I'm going to test because I'm actually curious if this also will Wall Blast, just like the other options. So let's take a look. Looks like it does indeed Wall Blast. That's crazy. That's actually really useful. So keep it in mind. Alright, so another one that you have from this Rama Stance is you got this 3-4 move, and it looks something like this. One thing that's nice about this move is that it does chunky damage, but then it's also safe on block. So, you know, if the opponent happens to block it, no problem. It's going to push them back pretty significantly for the most part, unless you have them at the wall or something. It's a good chunky move to do. It's not as good as the other moves, so I probably wouldn't do this one all the time. I think like the other option I talked about, like the big low from the 4, that one's really good. And, you know, the 1 being plus range is nice because you can try to mix them up afterwards. It's got a lot of little stuff to it. But, you know, it's still something nice to toss out. Now, the last option is another unblockable option you have, and it's this grab. Now, it is a high grab, so the opponent can duck if they're expecting it, but if they're not expecting it, then you get a nice little free grab. And one thing that's cool about it is this puts you right back into the Garuda Force. So if you hit them with this grab, even though you spent your Garuda Force to go into Rama Stance, this is going to give you the Garuda Force right back. So then you can try to set up a mix-up afterwards. One mix-up I like to do often after this is because I just got my Garuda Force back. One thing I like to do oftentimes when the opponent gets up, I like to mix them up with the forward 2-1-2 string that I talked about earlier because of the plus frames from it. So yeah, keep all those moves in mind because the Rama Stance is really nice. It's not like a completely guaranteed situation for you because the opponent could try to do something like a Rage Art or something like that. But a lot of the time, this is one of the scariest situations for your opponent when you have them in this mix-up. So utilize it well and take advantage of it whenever you can. Especially utilize this big low and try to utilize the unblockables sometimes. Alright, so last but not least, before I get into punishment, I want to talk about, just basic wall combos just to give you an idea. So I've already talked about how you can use the up forward 2 and the up forward 2, the power crush move. This is a good way to set up a wall splat because it's a good way to kind of, catch your opponent pressing buttons and open them up. And whenever you wall splat, it doesn't really matter what move you wall splat with, but whenever you wall splat, there's 2 combos you can try. One is up forward 4 into back 4-3-2. And that looks something like this. Up forward 4, back 4-3-2. This is a good, basic, easy wall combo. Another one you can try is down forward 4-3 into forward 3-2-4. And if you do it right, you'll get a nice little flip over mix up if you do it correctly. And that looks something like this. Anyway, if you do it correctly, it's really useful and it's good to have, so keep it in mind. You can also wall splat with your basic 2-1. So if they do something unsafe near the wall and you happen to punish with the 2-1, or you happen to just hit them with a 2-1 and it hits the wall, same deal, same combos work. Back 4-3-2. This is the one I like to use most of the time just because it's easy. But as you get more used to it, you can do better ones, whatever one you prefer. Alright guys, last but not least, I want to get into some punishment tools that you can use. The first one is the basic 1-4. You can also do your basic jabs. This is 10 frame punish, 1-4. It's pretty good. It's really plus at +8. And it does okay damage. You don't really get anything too special after this, but still it's good to have. 1-4. Remember this, your basic jab punish. Whenever they do a 10 frame, -10 frame move, toss this one out. Now for 12 frames, a really good one is this 2-1 move. And it's good for knocking the opponent down. It sends them really far. You can try to roll up to them for a mix-up afterwards. And it does pretty chunky damage what it does. 35 damage, not bad. So remember this one. One thing I like to do after I hit this is I like to either go for the forward 1+2, or if I have Garuda Force, I like to stroll up to them and do this forward 2-1-2 afterwards. Good way to mix them up. So remember this one, 2-1. This is your 12 frame punish. Now for 14 frames, you got your back 1 move. And if you hit the back 1, you can do 4-4, 1+2 guaranteed afterwards. And if you don't have Garuda Force already, when you hit them with this, you're going to get the Garuda Force. This is also good as a whip punisher. So if they whip something from really far away and you just happen to see it whip, bam, you can get them with this thing. So good thing to use as a whip punish. So another one you can use is you can also use your up forward 3. And one thing that's good about the up forward 3 is that when you use this as your 14 frame punisher, you can also get heat out of it. If you happen to hit this and you have your heat dash, you can also get 4-4, 1+2 guaranteed afterwards for a bit of chunky damage. So use both the 14 frame options are good. It's really dependent on whether or not you want to get heat mode. If you don't want heat that bad, then just do the back 1. If you do want heat, then use the up forward 3. Alright, so for 15 frame punish, you have your down forward 2-3. This is your basic down forward 2 style launcher. And I've showed a lot of combos you can do in the combo section. So just do whatever combo you can do that works for you. His combos take a little while to get used to. So that's one thing that I do recommend. Spend a lot of time in training mode. Get used to the combos. But try to end with the down forward 1-2 if you can, because that way, if you don't have Garuda Force, you're going to get the Garuda Force back. Alright, so now I want to talk about the crouch punishers. The first one is your basic while standing 4. This is a good way to punish -11 frames. There's nothing special to it. He doesn't have any extensions or anything like that. But, it's what you got. So when you block something -11, toss out that while standing 4. Now for -13 frames, you got this while standing 1-2. And one thing that's nice about this move is that you can also use this in neutral sometimes because the second hit is safe unless they duck because it's a mid-high string. But it's also a heat engager, so it's a really good way to punish any -13 low that you do. And if they're not looking out to ducking that second hit, then even if you kind of mess up, then you're still fine. Now there's also a heat dash follow-up that you can do from the while standing 1-2. So if you hit it while you're in heat, your while standing 1-2 heat dash 4-4 1+2. You can get some nice chunky damage afterwards. For minus 14 frames, you have this wild standing 2-4 move. And this one I don't recommend doing on block, or at least don't finish it on block, because it's minus 13, so they can punish you if you just toss this out there. But you can get a guaranteed 4-4 1+2 after this. If you do it right, it's got to do a little bit on the deeper side, but if you do it right, you get a guaranteed 4-4 1+2 afterwards, and that'll give you the Garuda Force. So it's very nice to have. This is your 14 frame Punisher while standing 2-4. Last but not least, from minus 15 frames, you got this while standing 3, and this is a combo starter. So it's nice to have. While standing 3, remember this. This is your 15 frame launcher. You can also end with your down forward 1-2 and try to get your Garuda Force afterwards. Now, the while standing 3, I believe, is very bad on block. So don't just toss this out for no reason. It's minus 14. They can do a bigger punish on you if they're ready for it. But still, it's a very good way to launch punish the opponent. Or if you duck under their big high and they whiff, you can try to launch punish them with this move while standing 3. Alright, so I didn't really talk about his throws. He doesn't really have much of a throw mix-up game. The 1 throw is very basic. The 2 throw, 2+4 throw, this one switches sides. So it's good to use if you're trying to escape the wall and you think the opponent's not expecting it. You can try to switch sides and get away from the wall. He does have this up forward 1+2 command grab. And one thing that's nice about the up forward 1+2 grab is that it will wall splat. So you can do your basic, whatever combo you want to do afterwards. I usually keep it basic with the down forward 4-3 and then the forward 3-2-4. Try to get the flip over mix up if you can. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for Fakhkumram. Let me know if the guide helped you out. I tried to include a lot of what I thought were the good moves, as well as some good combos and some good tips for all of you guys. Anyway, enjoy Fakhkumram. For those of you that don't have my early access but are going to get them soon, try out the combos I showed you, try out the moves, and have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys all soon.